Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to our lecturers. Today I would like to present about my final project about preventing falls while working at height. Okay. My name is Naki Uzani bin Zain Abidin and my supervisor is Mr. Bubalan. Okay, we will proceed to the first slide. Okay. And my abstract is working at height more depth than any other site activity. Hazard and risk factors that affect the work at height, including a vertical drop, fragile roof light, hollow, site unprotected, unstable, or poorly maintained equipment and bad weather. Working at height prevent from falls and falling materials, including good design, planning and supervision of the work, and work to avoid the bad weather. In addition, an emergency rescue plan must be in place to facilitate the work of rescue work, trap or fall. Equipment, training and instruction necessary to minimize the distance and the consequence of fall. Heat protection is required when working at height. All equipment used for the work at height access shall be examined. Introduction is working at height means work or job in any place where, if precautions were not taken, a worker could fall a distance liable to cause personal injury. Okay. Working at height also include on work above ground or floor level, fall from an edge, through fragile surface or an opening, can fall from ground level into a hole in the ground or into an opening in the floor. Working at height does not include on slip or a trip on the level, as a fall from height has required a fall from one level to a lower level. The proven statement is a significant portion of the regulation are focused on fall protection. Despite the OSHA regulation, there are an unusually high number of injuries, which indicates that there is still a need to make further improvement to prevent site injuries. For study justification, accident may happen on work sites as a result of negligence of the workers. Hazard associated with the work, measuring mistake, unsafe work condition, and other factors. The OSHA regulation announced to reduce the number of worksite injuries and fatalities that happen as a result of the falls. To check the opportunities and their impact on the height of work during the design phase of the project and addressing fall prevention requirement for the project during the procurement process. The objective for general to identify a best practice in managing and controlling fall-related hazard and risks of targeted work areas. And the specific objective, the first one is to identify the hazard from working at height at working site. The second one, to evaluate the efficiency of existing control measure and practice at the work area. And the last one is to explore the extent to which changing attitudes and awareness of safer working practice for employers and workers. And the hypothesis of this project, there is a high level of injuries and fatalities produced by the premix machine that are exposed to the all employees of the work process area. For the conceptual framework of preventing falls at site, the tools I will produce the inspection reports and I refer to my old report on the company, and I will produce some questionnaire to evaluate their knowledge. And then standard legal, I will refer to Factory and Machinery Act 67, OSHA Act 94, and a few guidelines. And the existing countermeasure, I will choose elimination, engineering control, administrative control, and personal protective equipment. Then for literature review, I'll choose the first one: false act, injuries, age, fatalities, competent construction, impact, hazard, risk, awareness, health effect, accident, and prevention. And the right side is all the definition of the words. For past studies, the journal, I take a few for my reference. The first one is Analysis of Construction Equipment, Safety in Temporary Working at Height. Second one, Predicting Safety Risks of the Work at Height Using Bayesian Network. The third one, Cognitive Factor Influencing Safety Behavior at Height. And then working at height fatalities in the repair, maintenance, alteration, and addition work. And then the next one, developing a framework measuring the effectiveness of common fault prevention and protection practice. And then an approach to the assessment of fault risks for building construction. And then monitoring of high-rise building. And the last one, finding from a research study of construction safety in Hong Kong, accident related to a fall of person from height. And the legal provision, a few I take from OSHA Act is the Part 4. In Section 1 and Section 2, general duties of employer and self-employed person to their employees. And then Section 17, general duties of employees and self-employed person to person other than their employees. And then general duties of designer, manufacturing, and suppliers. In Part 6, general duties of manufacturer as regard plant for use at work. And then from FMA 67, at working at height at Part 2. And then building, operational, and work of engineering construction. In Part 5, duties of employer, and then work on step roof, and then construction and installation of roofing brackets. And then Part 6, sketch platform. And then Part 7, the first one, danger signs, safety belts, and safety net. For methodology, volunteers or workers will be asked to get some information about their health effect and hazard that exposed to them during working hours. The questionnaire will complete at least 2 months of the intervention was analysed. The study location of my project is at Tanjung Quarry or Tanjung Premix at Tanjung 12, Kuala Langat, Selangor, near the Masa University. For study variable, producing the questionnaire to collect data to make an improvement to general workers about their knowledge and awareness when involved in working at height. Besides that, additional data will be added from past inspection report from company and produce HIREC. I will produce to include the data on the research. For sampling data collection, On this research, 36 volunteers from premix plan section job will participate in this questionnaire. And the questionnaire was adopted from Oliver Sarah et al. 2007 from HASC. Hideaway campaign evaluation retrieved from www.hse.gov.uk. For Gantt chart, for pilot study, will take 4 weeks on September, and then selection of the study design from week 4 until the week 1 of October, and then monitoring of workplace I took from week 2 of October to week 3, and then the result I will compile from week 3 of October and week 1 of November, and then discussion on week 1 to week 2 of November, and then the finalized with supervisor from week 3 to week 4. For the result or the questionnaire, divide by 4 sections, which is first one is personal information, and then general knowledge of the workers, and then working at height, and workstation duties of employee, and the management. Okay, the total of participant on this questionnaire. Okay, the participant in questionnaire was 97% are male, and 3% is female. For 3% is only 1% of female that participate on this project. Okay, on question 1, all participant was answered 100% A, that there are in paid employment on 12 hours per day or more. On question 2, on their job occupation, most of participants from different job or responsible in this questionnaire. For example, from manager, supervisor, operator, and general workers. Okay, there's for A 9%, B 80%, C 42%, and D 39%. Means answer can refer from my questionnaire. 100% of worker, and question 3, 100% of workers at Tanjung Premix are not afraid with height when doing their job tasks because of their experience and training that conducted by the employer. And then for question 4, average on the premix plant is 25 to 34 years old. And for question 5, all the participants agreed 100% that the company was provide a life protection, such as a green card and insurance for them. And then for question 6, the workers are agreed 100% that they feel safe when doing the job at height because the employer was give a complete when they are complete equipment when doing their job, and got guardrails. This result of question 7. Then question 8, the result of general knowledge of the workers about working at height. Mostly the answer, first one is broken bones when fall from height, and then permanent disability, death, and hard to get job after their injuries, and then high risk job when they are doing working at height. For question 9, most of the worker was answered the right answer, and I will consider there are knowledgeable workers. For question 10, most of the worker use movable ladders or step ladder to use for their maintenance work. Podium and kick stools also used for lower level or lower risk for maintenance work. Therefore, question 11, mostly the participant informed that sparing energy are not put signage when they are doing high risk work. Okay, for question 12, why you don't always use safety equipment when you should? Okay, most of the participants do not use safety equipment during working at height because they say it will make the job difficult. Okay. For question 13, the participant like to choose phrase sometimes I eat when I should during their working at height job. Okay, for question 14, 55% of the workers say yes and 45% say no when accident occur. The management not looking for the individual but looks for the reason of accident. The last question is yes. Spring Energy Sdn Bhd are comply with legal and requirement when provide the suitable personal protection equipment when doing working at height, and the participant was agreed Spring Energy 100% provide the suitable PPE. Okay. For discussion based on the result, the premix plant worker at Tanjung Premix was knowledgeable and know their job scope and responsible. Okay. And then the measurement are consistent with the preliminary calculation. And therefore, conclusion, working at a high job is a serious issue in every industry that related with the job. For all management in nation, management are responsible to provide the protection equipment or other else about their workers safe when they do the job as wrote on OSHA 94 and FMB 67. That's all of my presentation. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.